Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Konnect Conversations. Hope you all are doing well. Today, we have with us someone who has dedicated more than a decade of his professional life to create the unique category of education in digital citizenship and internet maturity. Relentlessly pursuing the mission of every child internet mature, his edtech startup has become India's pioneer in this domain. It offers critical skills which empower a student to make the best use of internet in education as well as their career and also stay safe from online threats and dangers. A very warm welcome to Mr. Raghu Pandey, founder iMature. Hello, sir. Welcome to Connect Conversations and thank you for allowing us to share your journey on this platform.
Thank you, Antara. Pleasure to be here.
Right. So, sir, we will begin with something that has left me scratching my head a little bit, and I'm sure our viewers might be thinking the same, that what exactly is digital citizenship and internet maturity? I mean, what do these terms actually entail, and why is it essential to, educate every Indian student about it?
Yeah, I mean, that should logically be the first question because this is a relatively unknown and a relatively very new set of skills which has evolved in the world because internet has become such a critical part of our lives.
Right.
So it is impacting our opportunities, our threats and risks in a very severe manner. So the intensity of its positive impact and the intensity of its negative impact both has increased multifolds in the past decade. So ऐसी कोई भी स्किल जिससे आप इंटरनेट की अपॉर्चुनिटीज या इंटरनेट जो अपॉर्चुनिटीज आपको दे सकता है उसका फायदा उठाना सीखें और इंटरनेट जो थ्रेट्स आपको दे रहा है रिस्क क्रिएट कर रहा है उससे बचना सीखें नेचुरली ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती है
Right.
सो a lot of skills when you combine all of those we call it digital citizenship and internet maturity skills so basically ये एक set of skills है लेकिन अब इन सेट ऑफ स्किल्स को पढ़ाने के लिए जब हम एजुकेशन सिस्टम की बात करते हैं तो ये एक सब्जेक्ट बन जाता है एंड
Right.
डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज में दिस इज नाउ अ फुल फ्लेजेड सब्जेक्ट एंड वी आर sweating here in India to make it a full time subject here as well.
Right. 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 Okay. Great. So the iMature, your company, iMature has been touted, India's first ever education platform catering to the subject of DCIM. So what inspired you, to venture into this field and eventually build a career here in the sector?
Failure inspired me. So this is my second startup that I'm doing. My first one was ibranch.in. And we used to provide knowledge sharing portals to schools and colleges. और ये पोर्टल्स में नॉलेज शेयरिंग के बहुत सारे फीचर्स हुआ करते थे डिस्कशन फोरम्स ब्लॉग्स डॉक्यूमेंट शेयरिंग फैसिलिटीज एंड सो मेनी अदर थिंग्स यूजिंग विच teachers and students of any college any school can share knowledge among each other so technically it was a very nice product that we had created and the college administration and management liked the technology, liked the pricing, and it went well. But what happened in due course of time, we saw that students are not participating or using these knowledge sharing features of our portal. Despite the fact कि वो सारे जो स्टूडेंट्स थे जिनके पास ये फीचर ये हमारी फैसिलिटी थी ये हमारी सर्विस थी वो सारे स्टूडेंट्स वैसे थे जिनके पास खुद के लैपटॉप्स हुआ करते थे उस टाइम उनके पास 24/7 वाईफाई एंड ब्रॉडबैंड आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 2008-9 के आसपास तो उस टाइम भी हुआ करता था वी यूज्ड टू टारगेट सच पीपल सो डिजिटल एक्सेस वाज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम and they were pretty active on Yahoo groups Orkut I don't know if you even remember such names from those times
yes sir.
But they were pretty active on those platforms but they were not using these knowledge sharing features so मैंने एक पूरा diagnosis किया problem का and then I coined this term called internet maturity so all these things which I found are lacking in students that although they are internet savvy digital skills हैं लेकिन वो इंटरनेट का फायदा उठाना नहीं सीख रहे हैं और they are also blissfully unaware about so many threats that exists on internet. So I combined them all, and I coined that term, that if all of these things are learned by a student or any professional, we can call him or her internet mature. So, and also the inspiration had come from something called CMM, or Capability Maturity Model, which is a popular concept in IT industry, where I belong to, which is used to judge a company for its capability of doing projects. So uh, the name maybe have gotten inspired from there, but to work on this concept, the inspiration came from failing to see participation on our service by students. So that was the inspiration.
Right. Okay. Wonderful, sir. Uh, apart from designing India's first online course in DCIM, you have also designed an open curriculum as well as authored a book on the subject. And both again are India's first. So, India's first online course in DCIM, open curriculum, as well as a book. All three are India's first. So, if you can share a bit about that as well with our viewers.
Right. एक्चुअली ये बहुत ही नेचुरल प्रोसेस था. सो इट वाजंट अ रेस फॉर मी टू कंसिडर कि लेट्स create India's first or something. I was, in 2010, it was naturally ahead of time to think about day-to-day use of internet, the level at which it is happening right now. But because of my previous startup, I was very much into this zone, and thinking how students or any professional should use internet, and what are the features that should be learned how to use, for example, forums, blogs, social networking, professional networking. तो ये सारी चीजें मेरा full time occupation थी.
Right.
So when I, as I told you, just कि मैंने देखा कि students अगर इसका use नहीं कर रहे हैं, so उसके लिए कौन सी skills होनी चाहिए, then uh, I ended up creating some presentations and training material, which I also delivered in seminars to those students in our client colleges. So मटेरियल तो मैंने काफी सारा रिसर्च करके इकट्ठा किया था कि इसके ऊपर कुछ करना चाहिए, इन एन अटेम्प्ट टू मेक देयर पार्टिसिपेशन हाई, नॉट टू रियली थिंक अबाउट क्रिएटिंग अ करिकुलम, बिकॉज वो उस टाइम दिमाग में नहीं था. But then when I eventually thought of shutting down iBranch.in, उसके बाद जिस चीज की सबसे ज्यादा तैयारी थी मेरी कुछ करने की, वो ये इंटरनेट मैच्योरिटी ही था. So I decided that since absolutely nothing exists in this concept in India, and some very little work was happening globally. In fact, I was aware about little work happening. काम हो रहा होगा. So I thought of writing a book on that. So writing the book, and obviously you have to plan the chapters and the content. So side by side एक पूरा curriculum framework भी बन गया. Then book भी मैंने author करी. काफी टाइम लगा मुझे, 2011 से 13 end तक I authored that book. And a lot of effort also went into making it interesting to read, because the kind of topic I was working on is by itself not a very fun topic.
Right.
It's not like how to do wildlife photography. So
Right.
it's not that kind of an attractive topic. So बुक को फिर एक स्टोरी फॉर्मेट में बनाने की कोशिश की. आई वाज सक्सेसफुल इन डूइंग दैट. सो 2 साल लगा बुक लिखने में. फिर उसी के बाद मैंने डिसाइड किया कि द करिकुलम विच आई हैव created for creating my own learning resource, why not share it with the community? So I made it open. So how that happens is, when you license anything on the internet under Creative Commons license, so you are giving permission to anyone to use it in a certain way, but free of course. So that's how I made that curriculum also open to the community, with the vision that any school or any organization can use this curriculum, see what are the important topics, see what are the desired outcomes of teaching those topics, and create their own learning material on DCIM. और आज भी ये जो करिकुलम ओपन मेरे वेबसाइट पे अवेलेबल है, उसका यही पर्पस है. Any school goes there, picks up the curriculum, creates learning resource. इसके बाद after releasing the book, I did a pilot project with two schools in Bhopal.
Okay.
Uh, and they agreed to include digital citizenship and internet maturity as a subject for their teenage students.
Okay.
My book was given as a textbook to those students, and we did a 1 year long pilot with those schools. So उससे दो चीजें निकल के आई. एक मेरे लिए पॉजिटिव आउटकम था, एक नेगेटिव आउटकम था. Positive outcome was that everyone, including the students, teachers, parents, administration, management, everyone uh, acknowledged that this is a very important skill set.
Right.
The negative outcome was book is not a natural choice for the children these days to pick up and learn something.
Right.
So ये आपने भी ऑब्जर्व किया होगा कि एक बुक जो है, मतलब when we were kids we used to pick up, if let that be comic books, but we used to pick up books.
Correct.
But आज वो natural choice नहीं है बच्चों की.
जी.
For a majority, some are uh, loving books, I can see that, but majority are not.
Right.
So मुझे एक ऐसे मीडियम के थ्रू इसको प्रेजेंट करना था which is exciting for kids to consume. So I
Right.
decided to create an online course, and so naturally out of the needs arose the solution, and which happened to be the first time work happening in India, and that's how we created these things.
Right. Wonderful, sir. I think it is an excellent initiative and effort from your side. Kudos to you. I'm sure like it is easier for people, like you said, especially for the kids to access like whatever medium suits them, whichever medium they are comfortable in, either it's an online course or a book or anything. Now they have all the avenues to pursue or, make themselves aware for this platform in any medium that they are comfortable in. So I actually wanted to know what is the name of the book, like if you can tell our viewers.
Sure. It's called Become an iMature Student.
All right. And so is it available on Amazon and other platforms?
Yes, through I have self-published the book, so I have used a self-publishing service here in India,
Okay.
Notion Press. So if anybody wants, they can go to imature.in, and under resources they can find my book and also order it online.
All
So
right. Great.
through Notion Press, I guess it is available on Amazon,
Right.
maybe.
Right. Great. Great, sir. So, like the discussion how we are doing right now. So, mainly you have catered to, the educational institutes, the student fraternity. But do you also provide courses or training for adults as well? Like most of the adults, they are so much engaged in their professional life. I don't think they usually get time to explore new areas of field. So, in that case, do you also collaborate with corporates or businesses, to train their employees? Like do you provide some sort of training? And if yes, how does the system work?
That's a very good question, Antara. And actually, we want to do this for the corporate world and for the professionals. And we are planning to come up with online courses for them as well.
Okay.
However, currently, we are not doing it because we are a startup and a very lean setup here. So
Right.
we cannot spread ourselves very thin. So
Right.
अभी तो हमने अपना फोकस टीनेज स्टूडेंट्स पे रखा हुआ है,
जी.
but this is very much a requirement for all professionals in the world, and regardless of the age, whether you are just out of college or whether you are about to retire in an year, internet maturity skills are going to define your productivity.
Right.
As simple as that.
Right.
So, and especially for the students which are now going to start their career in the next 3, 4, 5 years, they have to accept the reality that internet is going to be a very important part of what they're going to do.
Right.
So their productivity depends a lot on how well they can collaborate online, how well they understand the concept of online reputation, making the best use of professional networking like LinkedIn to sell their skills and grab the opportunities, making the best use of blogs to showcase their knowledge. All of these things are going to define success for professionals. So we want to train professionals in this domain, and hopefully in near future we will be out with some learning products around that.
Right. Great. Wish you all the very best for that, sir.
Okay.
And sir, your entrepreneurial journey started in the year 2006, I believe. I believe, with iBranch. So you have had it quite a journey, you know, it's been more than a decade that you have had your entrepreneurial journey. So how would you describe the experience as? Like, how has it been, the whole journey?
Right. And I can start talking about it. If it starts getting long, please knock on the screen.
Sure,
Hello,
sir.
बोल के. So, my entrepreneurship journey actually began in 2000, end of 2002 and beginning of 2003,
Okay.
when the entrepreneurship bug really bit me hard, and that time I was in US. I was pursuing my Master of Science program in University of Massachusetts in Dartmouth.
Okay.
मेरा पहला साल ही था.
जी.
And fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know, the entrepreneurship bug really bit me. And I decided to drop out of my university, come back to India, and start something of my own. So I did that. I came back to India in 2003, mid of 2003, and just to learn the or get exposure to the business of IT, I joined an institute called International Institute of Information Technology in Pune. Uh, Reason being, it was an upcoming institute in the heart of the software technology park in Pune, Hinjewadi. So I guess that my presence there will expose me to uh, you know good people who can teach me or who can inspire me to start a business in IT and also help me refine my ideas. It worked out very well. I made the full use of my 2 years in that institution. And 2005, I came back to Bhopal, my hometown, and I started a company called Citywala Infotech with the plan of creating a local networking portal. But it turned out that, to roll that business out, a lot of capital is required.
Right.
So I pivoted without knowing what pivoting is. It's a very well-known jargon now. And it was a small team back then. We decided to use the technology that we had started working on to create knowledge sharing portals for colleges because we understood that market. We had been students just a couple of months back. So उस यूनिवर्स को हम बहुत अच्छे से समझते थे, तो हमने पूरा अपना टेक जो डेवलप किया था उसको अप्लाई कर दिया कॉलेज डोमेन पे to solve the problem that we were also facing during our college days, that teachers and students have a lot to share, a lot of knowledge to share among themselves, but there is no platform outside of the class where they can do it. So
Right.
a, a college community which is including teachers, students, and also even guest experts and alumni potentially can share knowledge 24/7, but उनके पास कोई प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं था. तो हमने क्रिएट किया और पहले हम इसको एज अ नॉर्मल सॉफ्टवेयर सेल करते थे. आई मीन यू वी वुड सेल दिस सॉफ्टवेयर टू द कॉलेज टू गेट इट इंस्टॉल्ड ऑन देयर सर्वर एंड लेट देम यूज इट. बट वो वाला मॉडल भी फेल हुआ बिकॉज colleges had all the good quality infrastructure, IT infrastructure, like servers and the lab and the server facility. लेकिन वो एक वेब एप्लीकेशन को रन करने की उनके पास कैपेबिलिटीज नहीं थी. सो आई वुड गिव यू अ टिपिकल एग्जांपल कि अगर किसी सर्वर में हमारा प्रोग्राम चल रहा है, सो एट द एंड ऑफ द डे एट 5 or 6, if the peon is shutting down everything, he would shut down every server and all, he would leave. uh,
Right.
and so I mean it requires a different mentality and a different team to run a service 24/7. So that plan failed, so we had to uh, by force become probably the first, one of the first SaaS based edtech companies in India, सॉफ्टवेयर एज
Right.
अ सर्विस.
Right.
सो हमने अपने ऑफिस में ही सर्वर इंस्टॉल किया, सर्विस को स्टार्ट किया, ब्रांडेड इट iBranch.in, and then started expanding, went to good 50-60 colleges. And then the story I've already shared, that they lapped up the service because pricing अच्छी थी, टेक्नोलॉजी अच्छी थी. लेकिन फिर ये हुआ कि स्टूडेंट्स यूज नहीं करते थे, तो रिन्यूअल्स नहीं हुए. SaaS का जो बिजनेस है वो रिन्यूअल्स पे चलता है. सो
Okay.
1 साल का पैसा दिया ठीक है, बट व्हाट अबाउट सेकेंड ईयर, थर्ड ईयर, फोर्थ ईयर? So
Right.
only a very few colleges were sticking with us for 5 years, 4 or 5 years. Majority of them had this problem that, see, your product is good, but students are not using it. They gave us full hand, जाइए आप स्टूडेंट्स को ट्रेनिंग देना है, आपको उनको पेप टॉक देना है, मोटिवेट करना है, वॉट एवर, ट्राई इट आउट. We have no problem paying you the fees unless they are using it. And then I've already shared with you कि कैसे वो students
जी.
कौन से skill gaps थे वो नहीं
जी.
कर पाए. And then the journey of internet maturity began.
Right. Right. You have had a very interesting journey, sir. Wonderful.
Indeed, very interesting.
But sir, before we leave you, like talking about your journey, and before we leave you, what would be your biggest learnings or takeaways that you have had that you would like to share with our viewers throughout this startup entrepreneurial journey? If you have had some kind of learnings or some kind of takeaways, please share.
Uh, अंतरा, मेरी पहली लर्निंग तो लर्निंग एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को लेकर ही है,
जी.
जो कि इतने सारे सालों में एक कंक्लूजन निकल के आया है कि and young entrepreneurs today are facing it. When we started, there was very little of knowledge base around learning modern entrepreneurship. वो बहुत कम था. जितना था बहुत अच्छी क्वालिटी का था.
जी.
अभी बहुत सारा जंक इसके आसपास हो चुका है. यू नो
जी.
यू नो every other person is standing up and saying कि ये लो इंटरनेट, सॉरी, ये लो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का ज्ञान. So the first thing that is required is to, be wise in choosing your source of learning of the entrepreneurship or the kind of entrepreneurship that you're doing. It is also important to realize what kind of entrepreneur you are. क्या आप एक इनोवेशन कर रहे हो जिसकी डिमांड आगे आने वाली है, तो आपको एक पर्टिकुलर टाइप की लर्निंग और ट्रेनिंग की जरूरत पड़ेगी. क्या आप ऐसे एंटरप्रेन्योर हो जो एक D2C ब्रांड, जो कि एक बहुत ही चलती हुई कैटेगरी में आज है, फॉर एग्जांपल चॉकलेट्स एंड केक्स, इसमें अगर आप आ रहे हो, तो इट्स अ वेरी डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप दैट यू आर परस्यूइंग. सो you must choose your source of learning and mentors very wisely.
Right.
एक कॉमन ज्ञान जरूर मैं दे सकता हूँ which should apply to all entrepreneurs is like find your niche and be strong in it. ये वाला रूल कभी ब्रेक नहीं होते हुए मैंने देखा है कि आप जनरलाइज्ड हो रहे हो और आपका सब कुछ अच्छा चल रहा है. नहीं, यू हैव टू स्पेशलाइज, फोकस, फाइंड द niche, बी स्ट्रांग इन दैट, एंड देन व्हेन द स्टोरी हैज गॉन ahead towards सक्सेस, फिर डाइवर्सिफाई करना एक अलग चीज होती है. सो it can have a very long answer, so I don't know
Right.
if that was
No,
valuable.
I think, sir, those were definitely words of wisdom. And I'm sure all our viewers would also agree. I think they definitely have learned something new from your journey and experiences I have. So in fact, I think सबके लिए ये कुछ ऐसे टेकअवेज हैं जो वो अपनी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में इम्बाइब भी कर सकते हैं और फॉलो भी कर सकते हैं. So, sir, thank you so much for sitting down and sharing your inspiring story with us. It was an absolute delight and honor to have you here.
Same here. Entire pleasure was mine. And yes, it was a big honor to be on MP Connect Conversations. Thank you so much, Antara.
Thank you so much, sir. And to all our viewers, if you have any sort of question or query, or you would like to know more about iMature and its work, you can directly connect via companies or Mr. Pandey's social media links, which we will share in the description box below. And if you have any sort of feedback for us to improve on, or you would just like to show some appreciation, please share your comments in the comment section, and do follow us on our other social media channels, who again have been linked in the description box. Don't forget to hit the like button on this video, and please subscribe to our channel for more such interesting conversations. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you in our next episode.